G'day, Steve Morgan here between Christmas and New Year's 2024 for the last Tackle Fridays of 2024. We started Tackle Fridays about a year ago, I suppose now. You've seen the whole season, what's come in and out of the office, what's happened at events and what cool things we've got around this joint. And haven't had too much happen in the last week. Everyone sort of shuts down at Christmas. I did get one cool package though. This one here, this is, you're wondering about how many Cranka Crabs I ordered to get me through a year. This is it. Steezy's got all stocks of everything at the moment. Big Cranka Crabs have been on the menu a bit this year. I've got a dozen big ones because I caught a lot of big upgrade fish on big ones this year. Got a lot of light and heavy, probably 2/3 heavy, 1/3 light in the Cranka Crabs. Each one of those has got 4 crabs in it. So about 40 crabs for the year, but Steezy sent these ones. These are some new ones that he's got, and he thinks that I'm really going to like them. And I probably will. They're called an olive UV is the colour. And I must admit, I have caught fish on their old UV, but I always tended to go to an olive colour. This is the new olive UV colour. Looks very olivey on the back, but it's got the olive UV tip claws and that UV orange sort of colour underneath. So I'm going to enjoy giving these a bit of a go, especially those early events next year in Victoria, some of those crab eating fisheries. Man, I think they're going to go real well. So if you're wondering about how many Cranka Crabs I order for a year, about $1,000's worth gets me through the year. But remember, I fish a lot and a lot of tournaments through the year. But the other thing we're going to do today is, and a lot of people have asked for this, it's a tour of the tackle room. So I'm going to unhook. Let's get in there and have a squiz. Authentic tour, this one. Get to walk through the office, get to see all the buck and bass gear, after jackets, olden days trophies, the kitchen which doubles as a packing room, my office with about 60 inches of screen sitting there. Oh, wonder what's on the screen. Yep, test match playing in the background, but then into the tackle room. Well, we have a whole lot of barra rods, brim rods, all the TD back-powered infeeds there, bass rods, a lot of them sitting through here, a lot of prototypey rods, a lot of rods that aren't in the current rotation sitting there. Probably should sell them one day. Let's have a look what's in the room. I've got collections of mono, I've got braids from 6 to 60 pound, leaders, leaders 20 pound, leaders brim size, straight through fluorocarbons. There's the straight fluorocarbons over here. All the way from the old Tollis 20 pound straight through that I use for dewies and stuff, down to 6 pound that I use for bass and the 3 pound that I use for brim. These are pretty interesting. These are lures I haven't put away yet for the year. So if you have a look through there, they're probably every lure that's come out of the boat after a bass tournament and after brim tournaments. And we'll get all the hooks sort of fixed up on them. They'll go back in the boxes before this year starts out. So, you know, big deep crankbaits for the bass. I see a lot of in there. Cicadas, bits and pieces. Surprisingly big top waters sometimes I throw for the brim. Peach face bent minnows, Daiwa spikes, stick minnows. Look at that, there's a stick minnows in there. Look at that little pygmy muss in there. All sorts of stuff that I need to clear out for next year. And when we're talking about clear outs, I've got to get all the barra stuff back together. So they're all, say, the barra plastics that I threw this year. Other stuff that needs to be cleaned out. Yeah, this place needs a bit of a clean out for the year. That's all my barra gear and plastics. But what everyone wants to have a look at, I suppose, is the walls. What lives on the wall? So my theory is everything which is on the walls is looking at me saying, take me fishing, I need to do some stuff on it, test it out. Anything which is in the boxes is sort of tried and proven. I'll pull that out when I need it. So let's start on the right-hand side here. Some deep Rapala, the Fat Jacks. The Jack Deeps and the Fat Wraps are actually in the boxes. Next time I go to Tassie, I'm going to have more than one flash minnow. I bought them off Adam when I came back from Tassie last time, so I've got a selection of the Lucky Craft flash minnows there. Assorted brim baits here. Look, some zip baits. The zip baits, Camson Juniors. Oh, not allowed to show you those ones. Other random brim baits. There's all the cicadas I bought the other day, including ones that I have to put back in the tackle box after I get the hook sorted. But lots of soft shell cicadas there. Some of the old tackle house rolling minnows, or rolling bait they call them. I used to fish them a lot instead of blades. Some Secret Norris top waters up there. I love them alone, some sweepers in the Gold Coast canals, along with the slippery dogs. Got to get these out this summer. I got them a while ago off Tony, the Itchier and the D-style top waters. They should love those things. Got these ones here. You saw them on Tackle Fridays last week. Got to try those out when I get on the water next time. Those atomic reel baits that are sitting there. Interesting. Prototype ZX lures. So the ZX blades designed by Takeyoshi Oramoto. There are 3 of his handmade prototypes before those lures came out. That's pretty cool. Not everyone's got those. A bit of a graveyard for some of the old Reddicks that have got absolute hammering. These are the ones before Josh made the wire through ones. All the ones nowadays have through wire. But back in the day, you could lose a fish if they snapped on the back. But he's fixed all that. But I've broken these lures every way possible. That's the graveyard where they go. Remind me of all the awesome fishing I've had on them. Some to still try from the Tackleberries haul from Japan. Might at least use part of the room, soft plastics. I've got a few there that I need to try out, but I must admit I mainly like fishing hard body lures. Love the reaction baits better. Some of the Noikies actually look really good. Some of these little crawl baits, I bet you that Broom eat the hell out of those. These were some of the bait junkies that I used in the original. We did a day live fishing with bait junkies when they first came out. Caught the crap out of them. They were pretty cool. I've got my Johnny Costello baits sitting there. Next time I go jack fishing, trying the burners. Next time I go barra fishing, I'm trying his paddle glides on there. Still haven't got my solution to the sticky mega prawns. Just going to catch barra on it and throw it out. Got a fair few of Matty Fraser's jig heads up there when I fish big plastics. And of course, some of Johnny Costello's barra burners there. You saw them in the Tackle Fridays a week or 2 ago. They will come out on the next barra trip. Got some spare trebles sitting there, including these. If you're chasing good value small trebles at the moment, the Wilson's guys have brought in those duo replacement trebles there. You can get them in Australia. So a lot of spare treble, a lot of spare assist hooks here. I really like the BKKs. They've got a real, they're really strong, well made for the price. Bass lures, got some of the old skitter pop surface poppers, the old balsa ones. A couple of frogs, these ones here when it's a deep crankbait. Some of the older rashies, don't think you can get those anymore in shallow and deep. Just some weird and wonderful stuff for bass. Blades, some spinner baits, creature baits. Bass stuff is probably the stuff I use the least of, so I'll get stuff that sits on the wall there for a while and needs to be thrown. Guarantee you get your barra on that thing. They're eating the hell out of those this year. Got some of Matty Fraser's, the big detonators, the suspenders and the sinkers. Some of these, all the Brisbane River guys will love these, the Northcraft Air Ogres. Caught hundreds of fish on those over the years. Little 6 cents panoramas, little drop shotty style ones we'll try out. Whenever I go out in Moreton Bay, I'm going to enjoy catching fish on those pencil poppers. There used to be a popper called a fat ass that we used to use, and this is the closest I can find to it now. Throw for miles, longtails love them. Got to take those down to Richmond and Clarence. Love a bass bite on a kicker curly. But then there's a few of the suspending storm shads there that we use barra fishing a fair bit. What else I got here? Some of Josh's, the Fishcraft barra baits. Big old bet minnows. Geez, this winter the Jewies are going to eat the crap out of those top waters. It's going to be great. They're all going to be about 70 to 80 centimetres this year, I reckon. I stocked up at a few of Matt Fraser's old Baramba bony shads as they were going out of production. A couple of Daiwa barra baits here, some of the double clutches all ready to go. What else we got? Got some reel baits up the top there. Some of the bigger panoramas, I've mucked with them a lot with live sonar, and I don't get the same success that the guys do in the US with them. They look amazing in the water. Just haven't found a way to trick a fish into eating them in Australia yet. Here's the collection of live mullets that we got stuck into them in the Barratua this year. Plenty of live mullets there. I'll one day find a use for the big spoon, most likely on the Barra. Through to some big swim baits, giant top waters. We caught some fish on giant top waters this year, like this one in the Barratua, like that big depth that's there. Some Paul Nella swim baits, some second-hand swim baits, big paddlers for the top. The Rapala, the Pedo, they caught heaps of them on the Barratua this year. Big affinity glides, big bull shads up the top here. You may remember that Roman mate caught a 109 in Tinaroo on that this year. And then these are some of my mate Joe up at Tinaroo's favourite swim baits for Barra though. The Izumi, the Shad Alive. He loves those things. Got a couple of boxes here in the smaller sizes. He put some big hooks on those and away he goes. But a few Redix in boxes. Some of the evergreen swim baits, the ES drives, I think they're called. Not the ES flats. All sitting there ready to go. And my ingenious way to store Alabama rigs. The 5-hook one's only legal in salt water. You've got to cut it down to 1 hook in fresh water. Still have gear here that needs to be packed up from the Barratua. So gee, a big mess, the old workbenches, but by the time we start off in February, this is going to be all cleaned up. Maybe. But all the stuff sits on the wall here, just reminds me that I need to take it out and give it a go at some stage. If it's in your face, you've got more chance of throwing it than if it's hidden somewhere. So this is a bit of a view of the man cave. Bass baits all sitting down there in their own little area. Lots of mercury bonus checks. There's a lot of mercury bonus checks in there. There's about $5,000 worth, I reckon. They paid well over the years for your Mercury Cup, big novelty checks from the Mercury Cup. If you're a Mercury owner, Mercury pay you some stuff, and then some of the novelty checks from over the years. Sitting on the wall up the top there. And some of those also sit on the wall over here. Empty reel boxes there. Overall, organised chaos. Oh, you want to see some badges? There's my collection of first place badges for over the years. I was at Timmy's at Christmas time and he's got a really good collection of these from 1999 to about 2006, and from 2006 onwards I've got a pretty good collection. So if we added those together, what would they say? It'd be pretty deadly. And there's the rest of the badge collection. Lives in there. So there you go, tackle room. That's all that's been coming in. I'm sure I'll have more stuff coming in the new year. ABT sponsorship's going well. ABT entry forms are up already. Thanks to everyone who's been entering. There's been plenty of guys entering already. Also, I saw there's an atomic promotion at the moment. If you buy an Arrows rod or a certain amount of atomic tackle and upload your receipt, they'll send you 4 atomic baits. So about 80 or 90 bucks worth of atomic baits if you buy some atomic products. So keep an eye out on that for their website. We'll be back in 2025. Have a good new year, guys. See you in Tackle Fridays 2025.